Hi guys, I'm Mackenzie. I'm in my second year. I am majoring in entrepreneurship and business, and I'm super excited to come on here and share with you some of the things that I took away from 2020. I think it's really important for everybody to sit down at the end of each year and reflect on the high points and the low points that they had and set goals for themselves for the year to come. Well, obviously, this year has been so tough for everyone because of COVID, and not knowing how to deal with it and cope with it has just been so challenging. A couple things that I took away was keeping a clear, happy, and healthy mindset. So near the beginning, I found myself really struggling to stay positive and kind of look at the bright side of the situation. I've definitely found that COVID in a way was bittersweet. It has allowed so many of us to reconnect with our families, keep our relationships strong, and really think about what is valuable to us in our life and what we take for granted. And it was so easy and so quick for COVID to take away our human interaction. You don't realize what you have until it's taken away from you, until you can't have it. COVID was kind of a perfect example for that. And for me, in a way, it was bittersweet because it made me reconnect with my family. It made me have a better relationship with myself, with my friends, and with my family. And I'm thankful for that. A huge thing was having to keep myself busy, keeping myself, away from the news, away from social media, because it's so easy for all that negativity to consume you so quick. And I found that happening to me quite often. So I really used this year and my time to work on not allowing that to happen. So those are just a couple of things that I took away from 2020. I highly recommend for everybody to kind of sit down, set goals for themselves, and reflect on the year that they had. So thank you.
What's up, guys? 2020 has taught me a lot of lessons, But one thing I will take from this year is, I shouldn't be looking at other people's stuff and saying, oh, I wish I had that, I wish I had that, I wish I had that. But rather look at what I already have and thank God that I have more than some of the people that don't have stuff, I learned that being humble and being thankful is the best gift a person can have, and a person can have in his characteristics. I'm spitting out these faccioles. One other thing 2020 taught me, though, don't eat a lot of candy, because damn, boy, she's shining. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jane Hakeem. I'm 19 years old. I am a year one student at Nottingham Trent University, majoring in international relations. So one thing that I can definitely take from 2020 is to always live in the moment, because you never know when our last day is on this earth. Always surround yourself with good energy, good people, good positivity, and good vibes.
So in 2020, I've had a lot of lessons and takeaways. I've learned how to do a lot of, minor electrical work in my home. I realized that painting a bedroom is way more work than you think it's going to be. I learned that I cannot make sourdough bread. It is very difficult. And then it kind of goes to, you learn a lot more about yourself. I kind of made some poor decisions this year, made some great decisions. I decided that online schooling wasn't good for me, so I dropped my courses this year, and I'm going to go back and finish next year when it's hopefully back in person. But then shortly after that, I also decided, I'm going to quit my jobs and I'm going to fly to Mexico. That's a poor decision in a global pandemic, I think. It was great for some aspects of it, got to be in the sun, lay on the beach, but it was also just kind of, lonely and sad when what you want to be is with, your family. You want to be with your friends right now. It's a weird time in the world. I was luckily with friends for a good chunk of it. They ended up going back a little bit early, and then I was just kind of down there in Mexico, just me. And, there's nobody traveling right now. Not a whole lot of people are speaking English. You're just kind of wandering around alone in Mexico. And social distancing there is more like 6 inches instead of 6 feet. So I was happy to come back, quarantined, and being able to see all my friends and family again has been really nice. But one of the biggest things I've learned throughout all this is just about relationships and all that sort of stuff. At the beginning of the year, me and my girlfriend of about 4 years split up, and pretty well right after that, I had to go into quarantine, isolation. And I don't think there's any time you feel more isolated than right after a breakup, and then being quarantined at that same time is pretty difficult. So I'm very lucky that my two best friends decided that they were going to move into my one-bedroom apartment with me until things kind of open back up again. So we have one of them on a couch, one of them on a single bed mattress that we put in the living room and hid behind the couch during the daytime. And they lived here with me for a little while, keeping me company. And, most important thing in the world ever is just those relationships that you have. And regardless of whether, everything goes in lockdown, you're a bartender, you can't work anymore, everything happens and the world is completely changed upside down. And if you have those relationships and those friendships, everything's going to be okay in the end. Thanks.
2020, you've been a shitty year. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. For a lot of us, it may have been a very hard year. For many, it could have been the hardest year. But I'd be a liar if I said that I wasn't able to take anything out of 2020 or that I wasn't able to learn anything from this year, because I certainly have been. Despite this year taking so much from so many of us, I do think it did have a lot to offer. One of the biggest lessons I took away from 2020 is that it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to breathe and to hit pause. That's something I definitely struggled with. I've constantly find myself in this mentality where I feel like I'm not doing enough, where more has to be done, where I could be using my time more wisely. And this can be super draining. This can make nothing feel like it's enough. This can often make your accomplishments, despite how big or small they are, feel unworthy of celebrating. And it's just not a healthy mindset to be in. So 2020 was able to change that for me. I think with the world just slowing down in general, due to everything that's been going on, I was kind of forced to slow down myself and be okay with not always being on the go and not always getting things done. And it's been refreshing after getting past all the anxiety that brought. It's been really refreshing to be able to pump the brakes and be okay with that. So that's one thing I learned from 2020.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine. I'm 23 years old and I would like to share with you what my biggest take from 2020 is. I actually have two. So the first is just to be present. And what I mean by this is just simply being present and just being in the moment with where you are in life right now. And just doing things that make you happy and surrounding yourself with people that lift you up and help you grow and just people that you like to be around. And not letting other people's opinions of you become your reality, and just simply doing things that make you happy. I think another thing too is to just not always wish for what's going to happen tomorrow, next year. Just being in the moment and just not wishing for what's next, because we're really not guaranteed, tomorrow, so just being in the moment is one of them. And then the second is just being kind. I think that's really important to remind yourself every day to just be kind to people that you're around, strangers even, because you don't know what they're going through behind closed doors. And it's really important to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and to just being able to relate and simply just being, a good person and just being there for people when they really need you. That's basically it. But I hope everybody has a great new year and that's filled with happiness and growth. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daniel Kandie, and I'm giving my reflections for 2020. I'll give three specific reflections for 2020. The first aspect that I can reflect upon, or the first lesson that I've learned from 2020, is the importance of self-belief. I learned how important it is to believe in myself and take a chance on myself, to take a chance in me, to look at opportunities which I may doubt myself on, but going forward despite those doubts, not self-disqualifying myself, but really taking that chance and, trying it out. If it doesn't work out, that's all right, but let me at least try, make a good attempt, put my best foot forward. Second reflection is understanding the importance of community. I think it's been really highlighted to me how important it is to be mindful of who you surround yourself with and being careful that you have the right community around you, people that you can actually count and depend upon. I think that was one thing from the lockdown and all of that. It was important to have a small community of people that you could count upon, you could depend upon, you could connect with, and who would support you throughout all the different challenges. And I think that is something which I never, for a few years, I didn't put as much focus on, but this year really highlighted the importance of having that community and really making sure that you invest in that community. And whether that means not necessarily like invest like money, but invest in terms of time, invest in terms of energy, and knowing that these are people who you can count on, and they should also be able to count on you. Third, I would say, is slowly bringing my life into focus. I think that this year has really helped given me the chance to reflect upon, the aspects of my life that are most important and the aspects that are not as important. And really focusing my attention and my efforts and my energy on the things which are important and letting go of the other things which are not as important. Because, it's, I believe that, if you focus your life on too many things, you'll never really get anything done. Whereas if you're able to, cut out the unimportant parts and really leave the important aspects, you can get so much more done. And I found that I feel much more fulfilled by focusing on those small aspects. And I would say that those are three of my reflections for 2020. Thank you.
Hi everyone. What to take away from 2020? 2020 has been a very interesting year for us all. It's also taught me a variety of different lessons. Personally, I got diagnosed with cancer in February, and I just finished my chemo rounds in August. So the biggest thing that I want to take from this year is to forever count my blessings and to forever be grateful for all the good that I do have, although there have been many hardships and many obstacles. And overall, it has been a very difficult year for us all. I forever will count my blessings and will be grateful for the good that I do have present, especially the good people that are present in my life. I believe that if we can all grasp one thing from this year is to always show kindness to one another and to forever just be understanding and be patient, because you never truly know what someone is going through. And this year has really shown that for us all. So hope for many blessings for everybody in 2021.
Hi, my name is Precious, and I would like to thank Abdul for allowing me this opportunity to just talk about my year, how 20 has been for me. As a musician, I had to be able to look at other ways of trying to get myself out there and look for opportunities that might be out there for me to develop as a musician and also connect with a lot of people. Also really pushed me to find opportunities that I might not usually go to. So, I just had to be more resourceful. It's being resourceful what I had and being able to work with what you're given. There was a lot of movements that did a lot of action that propelled a lot of people to do well in the community and do marches and protests, such as the Black Lives Matter movement and the End SARS movement. Specifically for me, affected me. Me being a Nigerian, it was tough, man. Like my mental health was I really had to check it, because when you're seeing your brothers die just trying to stand up for what they believe in, me staying here only to just only to have sympathy. I just can't fathom what the families of the victims were feeling. So it really affected me emotionally, spiritually, but it allowed me to really go back to what makes me who I am as a Nigerian. It made me to educate myself on the issues concerning Nigeria, because me, living in diaspora, I had to really do self-reflection and look at who I am as a person, what makes me Nigerian, such as the music, the people, the culture, the clothing, you know, all those things. Like, it made me being proud of where I'm come from. I just try to look at things that really make us proud Nigerians, and you know, I try to do more of calling other people, calling my Nigerian friends. I also, not even looking at specific Nigeria, but looking at other issues going on in the African continent. Try to call my friends who are in those respective countries and let them know that, you know, I'm here, and I want to also educate myself on the issues that's going on in their country, because I feel like those issues that's going on in those countries, like you should be able to find parallels, educating yourself on the issues and making sure that you have an understanding of what's going on can actually make you feel better, because they might see a path of resolution to solve those issues. What I looked to was to God. You know, that's where I really found solace in those times. I looked to God. I read my Bible, just things such as that. I also listen to a lot of music, like the Nigerian music. You know how it is, man. Like, that really made me proud of where I come from. And just, I know it was COVID times, but calling up my friends, you know, that's what really made me, you know, get through those times. But it was a unique year for everyone, but I'm thankful for that we're all making it. Thank you.
Hi. So when I look back at 2020, I think one of the biggest things I would be taking away from this year is just how important it is to play a sport. During my school years, I obviously had no option but to play various different sports, but the only one I probably slightly nurtured in my own time was long distance running, and you know, just taking part in many different cross countries that were happening all around Nairobi. But you know, it's not something that I gave much attention or put much effort into later on. And when I started university, I knew that it would be a great idea to, you know, pick up something else on the side or to nurture some other skill. But I just was so busy with all the other things that I had going on that I was never able to make time for playing something else. Over the last year, probably from August 2019, I became friends with somebody who is a phenomenal tennis player and is very passionate about it. And you know, I think repeated conversations with him about how helpful he's found, you know, tennis in his daily life from his childhood all the way up till now made me, you know, realize that I wish I had the time for that. The lockdown gave me that opportunity because there was very little that we could do outside of classes and studying, and it just made I was able to start by playing badminton and then go on to learn how to play basketball and, you know, improve my basketball skills. What really struck me is, as much as I was aware before about how helpful sport is in improving your concentration, in helping you perform better, you know, it was something that I just passed off as, you know, I'll do it later, or I'll just go for a small 10-minute run and then I'll come and study. But I never really, you know, given more time than that to playing something. And it was only during the pandemic that I was able to take out time, and I realized there was such a big difference in my mental health, in my physical health, in how well I was able to concentrate and focus on something after a 2-hour game of basketball. It was just such a big difference. And as much as before this I knew that it would impact me positively, you know, just seeing it firsthand makes a much bigger impression on you. And it came to a point where, you know, it became such a irreplaceable part of my routine. Like, I would cancel on so many other things just to be able to make that time to go out and play. And another thing this helped me with is there was a group of people that I never knew or interacted with earlier, but just through playing basketball every day, you know, it helped me form new friendships with people I probably never would have talked to otherwise. So I think that's one of the most important takeaways I have from this year.
Hello guys, my name is Kofi Opare. I just wanted to talk to you guys about my 2020 experience. It's been a whole roller coaster. So much has gone on this year. My life has changed so much this year. I just graduated this year. I couldn't walk because of the whole corona thing. You know, it kind of like hit me after 4 years of college. I want to walk. I couldn't even walk. It was, you know, it was something. It was something. The coronavirus actually has created opportunities for me, you know, in 2020, because I was home, I couldn't also go do my internship. And because I couldn't do my internship, I had to, like, you know, find something to do in the meantime. So that's when I started doing business. So 2020 has created an opportunity that, you know, because everybody is home, everybody like needs to shop online, and this was the moment that created an opportunity for me to start creating an online business. So because of 2020, I have learned that everything happens for a reason. You know, sometimes you might feel like, oh, why me, why this, but God has a purpose for you. God has a reason for you. He lets everything manifest in his own time. God's way is not our way. One door closes, one door opens. Use the things you go through as opportunities to learn and to create something new. Because let's say you pray for patience. God doesn't give you patience. God gives you an opportunity to learn how to be patient. Just take everything one step at a time. You might go through something. You might feel like, why me? Why this? There's a reason it is you, because God knows you can handle this. If you couldn't handle this, it wouldn't be. 2020 has been a roller coaster. So much has happened, but think about all the good things that have actually come from 2020. 2020 is actually a blessing in disguise, I would say. Thank you for listening, and wish you all the best.
Hi, my name is Andrew Numero Malisero. I'm a professional footballer, and I'm sitting here to share with you what I've taken away from 2020. A lot of people say that there's no good that can come out of bad, and 2020 has taught me otherwise. 2020 has shown me that even when you look like you don't have it all figured out, good can still come out of your life. As long as you don't give up, as long as you don't quit, and as long as you don't stop believing. That is my story. I started this year as a normal person that plays football as a kid, and halfway through it, because I didn't stop believing, because I kept working, even though I didn't know where I'm going, even though I didn't see where football was taking me, I ended up signing a professional contract halfway through the year. And these are things that 2020 has taught me. That you don't need to have it all figured out for you to achieve something in your life. You don't need to be at 100% for you to do something that you have always wanted. As long as you have a dream, as long as you have a goal, as long as you have a vision in your life, don't stop chasing it, because it will come true. And also 2020 has taught me that at the end of every dream, when you face a reality check, you should know that another dream starts from there. Dreams don't end. When you have reached a place where coronavirus is telling you that you cannot play football this year, another dream starts from there. Dreams don't end. Don't let your dream end. When you're knocked with a reality check of whatever you want to do in your life, you should know that another dream starts over there, and don't give up. Because if you never give up, even if you go on the other side crawling, you'll still make it on the other side. Thank you.